So hi, I'm Steve Pyke, and I've been a photographer now for 30 years. I come from the Midlands in England, and now I live here in New York City.
I was asking what you were shooting with in the early days, and you mentioned the Rolleiflex. What connects you to that camera? Because it's a fixed lens. You must see that way.
The thing about shooting with the Rolleiflex is that being photographed and someone photographs like this, it's an aggressive act. It's an aggressive stance. So it's like photographing with the Rolleiflex, which you have to look down into like this, is passive. Yeah. Just by nature of your body and how you are and how you're relating to someone. Of course, you're still deciding when you're going to make that picture. You're still like in a situation where it's your decision when you actually make that picture. Right. But the actual point of contact with the sitter, with the person that you're photographing, is the portrait's taken in a place of where it's much more. There's much more kind of compassion, it seems to me, which is interesting. I mean, interesting leads into all sorts of different ideas about who's in control. It's not about power. It's about, people talk about portraits and photography. They talk about taking pictures, and it's like, it's a word I'd never ever use, because I think taking is like the wrong adjective. It's like, if anything, it's giving. Yeah. You're giving pictures.
And you're collaborating. You're making something.
It's a collaboration. It's like a conversation. It's like what we're having now. We're having a conversation. It's going backwards and forwards, and we're both learning different things about each other, but also about what it is that we do. So, the thing is, it's all about exchange. A portrait, if it works, it's about exchange. There's something that's given. With Philosophers now, because I'm shooting them in the studio just across the river here. Because how this works is that I have a philosopher come, and they're there for an hour. And during that hour, about 45 minutes of it, you relax them, you go have a cup of coffee or whatever, and then there's two things that I ask them. One of them is if I'd like them to write a statement, like from the heart, as to what philosophy is, what it means to them. The other one is, who are the 10 greatest living influences in philosophy that have had an impact upon their work. So that leads to all sorts of different conversations. And I photograph for like maybe only 10 minutes. When I started that series there were maybe 3 rolls, and now I shoot 2 rolls, which is 24 frames. Most of the time I'm shooting from a tripod. Okay. So I'm photographing like f8, it's tri-X, just in front of a window, just inside in the dead light is f8 over an 1/8, if you haven't got a light meter with you ever. All of this book is naturally lit. There's no pictures in here that are lit by...
That's all you need. We got the sun.
Yeah.
The diffusion. It's
the greatest light. Oh, yeah. If you've got it.
Right.
So this is a very spontaneous moment. This is something that, if you look at the contact sheets for this picture of Susan Hurley, there's actually no plane of focus in this at all. It's just slightly out.
And you don't need...
But it's about the emotion.
The emotion is there.
Exactly that. Yeah.